Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to the amazing talks series of DevFest 2020 Algiers in the first day. The previous talk that was presented by Dr. جليلة رحالي and that revolved around كيفية خذلان المجرم الإلكتروني عن طريق الهندسة الاجتماعية العكسية will be available on our Facebook page very soon. So if you missed it or you simply want to rewatch it, and in that case, I wouldn't blame you, you can visit our page and you will find it there after it's finally reposted. Moving on to the last but definitely not least talk, the amazing Mrs. bin Hamida Fatima Zahra will be unveiling to us whether the world is smarter than the Internet of Things, IoT for short. Mrs. bin Hamida is an assistant professor in computer science. She holds a master's degree in computer science engineering and a PhD in computer science. In recognition of her active commitment to helping the IT community thrive professionally and socially, Mrs. Ben-Hamida has recently been awarded as a Microsoft Most Valuable Person and Microsoft Humans of IT Community Ambassador. Not just that, Internet of Things has always been a field of her interest. That's what pushed her and motivated her to make many amazing research related to this topic and thereby promote and share her results within her community, including her students, colleagues, and even you guys, which is why we're honored to have her host this amazing talk for us today at the Fest'20 Algiers. Please warmly welcome with me Mrs. Ben Hamida Fatima Zahra.
Thank you so much, Isra. Assalamu alaikum. I really appreciate the manner you pronounced my name, Fatima Zahra. It's only few people who really know how to pronounce it, so thank you so much for that. So, assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today with you. Actually, when I talked with the GDG organizers, who I would like to thank so much, they prefer to give a talk in English, but feel free, please, to make some remarks or write on the chat if you cannot, if you feel more comfortable using mixed language or only Arabic. I will do my best. So let's start today an overview, because we cannot talk about Internet of Things only in 1 hour. It's a huge domain who needs years of talking, of course, and research. Isra did the first work. Actually, she presented me, and thank you so much. But to sum up briefly my profile, so I did my engineer degree, my master in computer engineering, then a postgraduate and a PhD in the same school, in a Higher National School of Computer Science, where I have been working as an assistant professor for more than a decade right now. I'm also a senior researcher in one of the research laboratory there. So before that, I worked as a senior engineer in the first company of oil and sorry, for gas and electricity in Algeria, which is well known as Sonelgas. And not only that, I'm usually activating in helping the community and share my technical knowledge and also any other skills within my community, local community, and even worldwide, which is alhamdulillah awards, like being an economic consulting company based in Sweden, like the 2000 women program dedicated only to this, with very top high companies in the Silicon Valley, but also having the award lately for the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional and also the Microsoft Community Ambassador with the Humans of IT Community. So basically, my professional interests are teaching, sharing knowledge, mentoring students, other like large community who wants to have more skills, both technically and personally. Do some consulting. Also interested lately on about the Internet of Things, on image processing, sensor network, deep research background, but lately I have working in the Internet of Things, mainly the communication reliability and how to help to use Internet of Things to solve societal challenges. But when I'm off to like cooking, I like it's no longer.
I believe that Mrs. Ben Hamida has some connectivity issues due to the internet, and I hope that she will come back very soon to pursue her amazing talk. So please be patient with us, and we will come back to you very soon. Thank you.
Hello again. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mrs. Ben Hamida, we can hear you perfectly.
Sorry, I lost maybe the connection. I don't know why. So stop.
It's okay, there's no problem. You were introducing yourself, uh, a brief of your
Okay, only
biography.
that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, so sorry again. So during this presentation, we can. Okay, thank you. We will have an overview about the general definition. Why is IoT? What is IoT? Where can we find this Internet of Things? What are all the domain applications? And why are we living this IoT boom? And also we can speak about trends and challenges, but the recent trends and challenges in the IoT. And I will be pleased to take some questions and to discuss with you about this topic at the end of the presentation. So let's start with numbers. So if I tell you that there is 127 new devices per second connected to the internet, I mean, by the time I ended this statement, obviously there are thousands of new devices. I'm speaking about new devices connected to the internet. So another number is that the Business Insider say that by 2027, we can reach 41 billion IoT devices. So try to divide this by the population on all on Earth, and you can find how many devices per, I mean, by the mean, the number of devices you can have by your own. So which means that we are experiencing an era where everything will be connected. You cannot imagine how many um, components or devices are now into the internet, but the question why? How can we define this Internet of Things? So let's first go back to the history of Internet of Things, because Internet of Things will use some of the, let's say, context or concepts that we can find in the early 50s. Let's start by Internet, one of the first terms that compose this new domain. So Internet was, of course, um, introduced by DARPA in the 60s, and it was in the purpose of connecting two separate computers, etc. In the same 60s, in the early 60s to mid 60s, we have also experienced what we call embedded systems, which means that we are trying to put some systems or microchips in small devices and to make them work. It's not only the big machine like that can take a room size. And we can also we can speak about the cloud and artificial intelligence. So be careful here. Artificial intelligence is from the 50s. Is maybe the most is the least recent concept here. Still, we call back this artificial intelligence science or to combine it with the cloud, and the cloud, which means that you somehow try to services outside your hardware storage. And then in the early in 1999, more specific, we had what we call the sensor networks, and it has been for a decade one of the most to talk about. And then let's say Cisco have defined that Internet of Things is, let's say, officially between 2008 and 2009. So what is it? If I speak roughly, so I took two pictures. Here, the Internet of Things is that you can connect everything around you to the internet. So you have smart objects that are connected to the internet. What is the goal or the objective behind this is to interact. These objects try to interact between them or with another system, so we can have a remote control. So we don't need to any human intervention or interaction to make any action on this system. This is roughly speaking. If we take a technical definition, which I help you with the blue terms here to understand all this, so I will read it first and then I will summarize with the most important keywords. So we say that the Internet of Things is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or people that are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring any human to human or human to computer interaction. What does this mean? Internet of Things is overall a system, is something that work together. It's an ecosystem composed of what? Of devices, but not only devices like computing devices. They can be mechanical, they can be digital, they can be animals. These devices are put or integrated in animals, in people. Even you are part of the Internet of Things. And then To identify these devices, they need to have a unique identifier. If you are in the IT field, you can know what is, for example, IP address, MAC address, etc. Which means that with some code, you can say that this is unique to define device or this people or this animal, etc. And what is it for? It's to bring data from this environment and transfer data over a network. So there is a connection, there is a communication network. And all this is made with artificial intelligence, which means we don't require human interaction, neither between humans or between human and the computer. Okay, so with all of this, you can say, where can we find IoT? What are the IoT domain application domains? So I'm speaking with Algerians mostly, but it will sound for you also. So suppose you want to, tomorrow you want to go, or right now you want to go from place A to place B, and you don't know what transportation you want to take. Okay, you get into the station, the bus station. You just ask one person, or you just guess, or you ask anybody you cross in the road, and they will tell you take the bus number X. And but the problem, you don't know when the bus will arrive. They might tell you that you need a transfer, which means which means you need to take two buses, but you don't know which station you need to drop off and to change, etc. All of these, if you integrate IoT, you can have a system where somehow the bus you can track. Of course, in the first example, I didn't say also you don't know if the bus will be delayed or no, it will be on time, etc. And here I took image from solution and analysts. They propose how parents can track the school bus of their kids, so they know when the school bus is coming to their house, near their neighborhood. They know that the kid is inside the school bus. They can track the school bus that he arrived to the school, etc., etc. And it can be the same for the public transportation. You can just open your mobile, launch the application, say that I want to go from A to B, and this application will give you the number of buses to take, the fast road or the road with the less walking. They will say that there is an obstacle in this path. They will say that the bus will be delayed, etc. How can we do that? Because the bus and the bus station and everything is connected with sensors, and this and the system will also inform you about this. This is one of the multiple application domains. So here I can list some of the application domains that I consider that they are the most important in the IoT field. The first one is industry, and now industry is a whole domain itself. We're speaking about IIoT, which is industrial Internet of Things. We can also speak about health and well-being, about smart home, about smart cities, and you can see here many of the categories as application domains. And there are many others. This means that many others are not listed and many others to come. So let's start with Industry 4.0. Actually, IoT for industry, this is what we call Industry 4.0. And here you can say that everything is tracked and everything has a traceability and a way to be integrated in the digital system or in the IoT system, which means that you know that the product is at the, you have the product in the production chain. You know that the product has been moved to the transport. You know that the transport will make 2 days to take it for the supplier. You know that the supplier has the product and he is selling it to the client, etc. You can track every second, even if you have, for example, something that you order from internet, you can with a number, with a unique identifier, you can track your package. Is it in the still in the in the how do you say it? Okay, is it in the transportation? Is it in the does it make the transit from this country to the other? Does it arrive to my local post office, etc.? So this is all what we call about logistic and product, but we can find agriculture as a field itself in the industry 4.0. And I will give you an example about project that we have held um, in our school, ESI, École Nationale Supérieure d'Informatique. So everything about related to industry, where you can track things, where you can remotely interact with the products and with the supply chain, etc., is related to Internet of Things. For the health is the same. Let's say the smart system for e-health is like when you have the patient, for example, they have on-body sensors, they will send remotely all the vital data to their doctor, and the doctor, he will only check from his computer. And also the hospital is all connected, all the services. If this doctor will need something from another service, he will only check in his computer or send the form, and etc. And you have robots, they will replace some human activities, and you have also the smart building, etc. I'm trying to be fast to catch up with the time that we have lost, but I prefer also to have more time for Q&A. So for the well-being is like when you open or when you enter your house, you can find that your AC is activated because they know you are inside, and it's you cannot bear more than 30 degrees in your house, so that the AC will be activated. You will also have your plant, which will be auto controlled by itself. If it needs water, it will water itself, etc. Thanks to the sensor of humidity, it is inside the plant. You will find also your heater. It will turn off when it knows that no one is in that room, etc. But also the elderly assistant, since they are very fragile and they cannot usually be transferred to the hospital. So they will be monitored remotely using many sensors and using also smart devices to connect with the elderly people. Okay, smart city is a big part of IoT systems. So smart cities, you can have all the what we call smart grid, or what we call in French, les réseaux électriques intelligents. It's all the electric system, which will be very smart. You have in the education, you have the smart mobility. The example of transportation we've talked about is one of the smart mobility for the smart city. You will have the public safety and many other the smart building. Also the fact that you will save energy when someone is not in the building. It's not useful to let the public light always switched on. You can switch on the light only when you can detect some movement around, etc. So all of this we can integrate it under the smart cities. Well, now I will mention some projects and with which I can also explain more how we can use IoT. So one of the projects we did in the smart farm field, it was with collaboration with the startup which called iTech startup in Algeria. The project is called Safe Crop. It was like 3 years ago with two amazing students of our school. Um, and what we did is that we needed to offer a form with sensors for the agricultors, so they can remotely monitor any risk of plant disease, which means we will plant sensor in their farm, in their field, and then these sensors will take measures about the humidity, about the wind, about is there any enough sunlight or no, etc. And with all these measures combined, using a machine learning model, they will say if there is any risk about having this kind of disease. So all the diseases that we did is the fusarium wilt and potato mildew. Fusarium wilt, which means le fusarium de blé, and mildew de pomme de terre, and mildew de tomate aussi. So what you can see here is our system. Once we did the sensors and we used our machine learning model, which is it's continuous reinforcement learning. So, for example, it says that in this field, everything it's green. You don't have to worry. But for this field, which is, and you have the map, you can know where is it exactly located. So it says, be careful, your temperature is 32 and the humidity is 80%, which augment the risk of having the potato mildew. And here it will tell you also if you need to inject or put some pesticide or not. So with this also we avoided to put every time pesticides without any use. And also we have here like orange, which means that it's medium risk. So with that, the agriculture can improve the system, can say, okay, in fact, I have, this is how when he can confirm if the risk isn't yes or no. And with this, we could also enrich our machine learning model. This is why we call it reinforcement learning. Another we've done 2018, yeah, about a project about e-health with two other amazing girls, students from our school. They did they combined a human activity recognition platform. They have actually designed a human activity recognition platform for e-health application. What is it for? So human activity recognition is the fact that you will say, this person is walking, this person is sleeping. And what it is to combine this human activity recognition with the health issues. So if you have, for example, which is very fast, let's say, without giving any numbers because we are not experts in medical field. So if you have a very fast heartbeat, so when you combine it with human activity, with this person is running, it's obviously not a danger to have a very fast heartbeat. It's actually normal. But when you say this person is um, sleeping, he has or she has a very fast heartbeat, but also he is known to have heart problems. So you might call the ambulance because he might have a heart attack. So all this combined will give you a smart system that will prevent, it will combine to also to make accurate diagnosis. And of course, there is another problem, which is the security, because all of these you need machine learning, and which means machine learning means that a huge number of data, the more data you combine, the more accurate you will have as a decision. So, but with other data, which means that you need a third that your data will be sent to another party, a third party, which means that you need to protect this data, etc. So they worked also on the security and confidentiality side. So all of this, it give you a hint about what is IoT for, etc. Now we want to understand why this IoT boom. How come we have arrived at this level of connected devices? I mean, from the start of the, I cannot imagine 127 new devices are connected each second. So basically, the first reason is the appearance of very cheap, low-power computing systems. Because, as I said, since the '60s, we have been working on embedded systems, and the content and the digital devices are becomes cheaper and cheaper, and and having more power for the computing, which means that we can do better, we can do more. Earlier we can it was difficult to multiple two mattress, but now you can make a whole system with only small devices. The other reason is that internet now is not only like the one that DARPA created. Internet is here to connect, to give service for everyone, but also don't forget that we are all for internet. So all our data, internet needs our data, and we need internet to use the data in within. So this is also a very important part that made IoT, that was part of IoT boom. But also the growing tech that people are working about on many sides, moving from IPv4 to IPv6, which means that you can have plenty of devices connected at the same time, because unique identifiers mean you have one serial number for each device. So if you have billions of devices at the same time, IPv4 never do that. But with IPv6, we extend the number of devices to like infinite, like let's say. The appearance, or the also the importance of data science, because when we say internet for all and all for internet, the common word is data. Internet is here to give us data, and we are here to provide internet data also. So we need data science to like aggregate this data, understand this data, give a value to this data, interpret this data, etc. Also made it possible. Why? Now I have only my mobile phone, which can only maybe store my mobile phone, or my laptop, which can store only few amount of data. But with the cloud, it's like limitless. Do you now care about the number of photo you will take to get your best shot? No, you don't, because all your photos are saved somewhere in the cloud, and you feel like you have limitless storage. And also, as I said, the high performance of materials. Over the years, we are working on very high performance material, even small devices. Like, look at your webcam. You don't even need now your camera, your digital I mean webcam in your mobile could make very nice portrait. And we are not speaking about only this, but with high performance, we need also the computing performance, etc. So here, it's just to share with you an Intel IoT platform. I think it's small to read, but just to mention that the IoT boom also is the fact that you can find all these services all together. So the things are here. The Intel define the things that are all the objects. Okay, you need the cloud management, so you need some servers and some cloud services to buy. You need also the data centers and storage to store local data. You will need data and device management. So data is very important to give it a sense, which is data science, to interpret, to etc. You need connecting the unconnected, which is the network, because these things, if is they are not connected, they are nothing, they value nothing. So you need a support, you need a network, you need also the end-to-end security. Security is very important, because if you don't trust IoT, no one will be in IoT. So you need to provide security also, etc. So this is only to sum up the different services that you may find in IoT. Okay, what is IoT characteristics? If you ask if you have a recruiter asking you, how can you um, give three characteristic or three things that can define you? So what do you think about? So this is the same thing. If you need to define IoT or give it the most uh, characteristic that best define IoT are the following. First, heterogeneity. I'm coming to that. And this is the fact. Let me see. Okay, I'm speaking about this later. The communication technology, also the dynamicity, the scalability, the intelligence, and the security. So let's see them one by one. When we speak about IoT being a heterogeneous network or heterogeneous model, it's like because IoT should and must support different communication technology. You cannot speak only about wired, so don't forget wired, it's still used, but you can find many of other communication technologies, speaking about Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee. Now we are speaking about LoRaWAN, etc. But we can speak about that later. Then you can find also many different uh, physical devices. So here we can find many companies working on that, but also many different devices for the same company. So we can find the companies like Arduino, like the Raspberry Pi, many others like Bagel Board, etc. And you need to make them all working together if you want to have an IoT system without constraints. And speaking about different devices for the same company, I gave you here many models for the Arduino, depending on their capacity for the memory and their capacity for how many digital in-out and input and output pins they have, which means how many connectors I can connect, etc. And here, speaking again about wireless communication, you can find here the difference. Why IoT must support all this kind of communication? Why don't we say, let's make all Wi-Fi? Because actually, not all the devices that we have can support only one type of communication channel. This is one. Two is that the range will change from a type of communication to another. For example, for Wi-Fi, it can reach 50 meters, but for cellular, it can reach 200 kilometers. But for Bluetooth, it's only 10 meters, etc. It's also about how energy consuming is this type of uh, communication channel. So if we are speaking about Wi-Fi, it's very consuming. So usually when we speak about Wi-Fi, it's better for a laptop which has a charger. But if we are speaking about a self-deployed sensor using Bluetooth, because it has a medium energy consumption and a low price also. So this is all these factors or all these things will make are in taking decision which communication I will choose, what is the budget I have to buy, etc. When I spoke about IoT dynamicity as a great characteristic of the Internet of Things, so dynamicity means that your devices are mobile. They don't stay at one place. They are not fixed on your wall and you don't touch them anymore. Of course, some sensors and some devices are always in the same XYZ position, but many of the devices now, they are moving as the human is moving, buses are moving, the air is moving, everything, animals are moving, and you want to track them, etc. So mobility will lead to changing the network topology. What does it mean? Network topology is like you have a web, some of components all connected together, but when they move, they will change this connection. They will change the scheme or the topology of your network. And also dynamicity, because IoT is very known about this problem of disconnection. Why is that? Coming back to the former slide, using Wi-Fi, cellular, Bluetooth, all these are wireless communication. And depending on the environment where your devices are deployed, um, you can have experience many disconnection. The scalability is the fact that you can have an IoT system with few number of devices, let's say on body sensors, to remotely monitor a patient or an elderly. But you can find also a smart farm for billions of smart objects deployed in this field. So, and you need to know, can I have a generic solution, something like it work for all of them? Like as we say, one size, does it fit all or does not fit all? And the efficiency of these solutions that we have, and the time scale. So how can we adapt into environment changes, etc.? Well, my sensor may work at time t when I deploy my network, when I start my solution, but does it last for longer? So this is all the question you need to answer when you want to build your IoT project. And of course, when we speak about intelligence, is all the fact that the objects are smart, so they are autonomous. They can readapt to if there is something like that happened, a fault, or there is the topology have changed. I cannot find anymore my neighbor who I used to whom I used to send my message. So how can I send my message now? The interaction, how can I interact with all the environment? When I say neighbor, it's a device, of course, it's not a human neighbor. So well, all of this is about intelligence, using artificial intelligence, machine learning, able to learn, understand, and make decision by itself without any human interaction. Well, and IoT security, of course, I'm sure that many other experts will cover the security topic, but it's really important. So you need at least to be sure that there is confidentiality, availability, integrity, and non-repudiation for your system, which means you need to make track and you need to be able to confirm that everything um, has not been compromised. Okay, let's speak about trends and challenges right now. So the challenges is, I may say, it's a mapping with the IoT characteristic. We have challenges in the connectivity because, as I said, wireless networks means this mobility means the disconnection, and we need to make the most, let's say, efficient, reliable solution that may support all this connectivity and stability. The security the security is also a problem. It's an up-to-date problem. Security has always been a problem in any kind of network, from the wild one to the future of the IoT. The intelligence also, how to make my system more independent, more intelligent, how to make it learn more, readapt more, interact more, etc. The autonomy means that, as you may know, that some devices, they are auto deployed and self-dependent. They have only a few amount, they work on battery without a charger. So you need to make solutions they are not energy consuming. And the standards is that the fact that we are in a heterogeneous domain or network. So what standards can we define that I can run on my Raspberry Pi, as I can run on my Arduino, as I can run for the Wi-Fi or for the Bluetooth, etc. Here I put the IoT value chain as the thing, just to know who is working on what and what are the different steps in the IoT value chain. First of all, you need to make some smart modules. It's the very, let's say, elementary module. It's the embedded system you will do. With all these modules like the sensors, the SIM cards, the embedded chips, you will have smart objects like mobile, like camera, like etc. And then you will need connectivity. What is the network that um, will try to make all these individual objects, smart objects, communicate together? So we are speaking here, for example, about the telecom companies. Of course, this has been taken from American resource, so they have Telefonica, Vodafone, but we can say also GZ and Ooredoo, etc. The platform is very important. So the platform is how to make all this working together, how to use the like the platform, the physical platform. We are speaking here about Cisco, Microsoft, Google, and also the software customization is that the fact that you need some more accurate or sort of customized solution for you. As I said, one size doesn't fit all, so I need another layer based on this all platform, generic platforms. I need another layer that will answer my question, that will answer my demand. And the applications also, so applications here you can find like Salesforce, Honeywell, and then comes you and me, the consumer. So to use all this value chain, and you and me could be also a buyer or a seller. Don't forget that. So you can use the services, but you can also sell the services once you buy them from all this value chain. And to give you, as if you are still a fresh engineer or you are still undergrad or a student, you need to know these numbers because this is how IoT you can now you can know who leads IoT. So from the device provider, which is the smart module and smart objects, they are taking only 5 to 10% part from the market. The operators, like I said, the telecom operators, etc., they are taking much, quite bigger part. It's 15 to 20, which is not, yeah, which is a very good part from the market. Speaking about operators, I mean. The platform providers are the best one, like speaking about Microsoft, about Amazon, about IBM, etc. So they are taking the biggest part of the market, which is 30 to 40, and you can find also the system integrator and the application providers here. So this is give you a hint about if one day you want to integrate IoT market or IoT company or one of the IoT value chain, where do you want to go exactly? Now the trends, now if we are speaking about IoT, actually the trends will, there is a gap between the trend in emerging country and the trend in one of the biggest power countries in the world. So smart city now is a must. You need to have your bus with the information about delay, with the information about the fastest route, with etc. You need to have smart lights, you need to have smart grids, etc. Using IoT for societal challenges is also a big trend. Using it for to fix refugees, to fix the problem of food waste, to fix the problem of health, etc. Having now many other domains declining from the IoT, we are not only speaking about IoT, but industrial IoT as one big domain from itself, IoT for e-health as one big domain from itself, and etc. Using blockchain for security, and so combining another technology, trending technology with IoT. And also working on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and why not also how to solve all this big data, where to put data, how to protect data, etc. All of these are trends. So with this, I end with some references. I can share it with you if you want to look about the free IoT course, which I gave a lot of material from in this presentation from this very interesting link. The IoT platforms like the Microsoft one, I encourage you to go and see it. If you are a geek developer community, go to the hacker this site, and if you want to work on hardwares, go to Arduino and Raspberry Pi, and if otherwise you want to go to the research field, there is the IoT Council and the IEEE IoT topic. So feel free to ask your questions. I guess with the delay, I'm actually on time. So I'll be happy
Thank you
to
so much,
answer
Mrs.
any
Ben
question you
Hamida. It
have.
has been a very interesting talk. We indeed have some questions for you. So the
Okay.
first question is do you think what do you think about Algeria being up for the challenge of a smart city slash smart house?
Okay, so I will start the question by its end. Actually, the smart house is something that you can do by yourself. Go to the let's go back to the references. Go to the Arduino or Raspberry Pi, and there are other people they are sharing with their community how they can make their houses smart, and it's easy. It depends on what you need, because smart house, it's not something for the community. Smart city, instead, it's something bigger, and it's something very challenging, and it needs not only the efforts from from the authorities, but also the efforts from people, because people need to adhere to the new solutions. So yes, it is a challenge, but no, we can do it. So actually, 3 years or 4 years ago, I have monitored supervised, sorry, I have supervised a project with CDTA, which is the Centre de Développement Technologie Avancée. They have been already working on how to reduce the use of the light in the highways, using the sensors according to the number of vehicles, of cars they are on the road, they have on the road, which is something very interesting, because it touch energy. And so it's a very big challenge, and many countries and many cities made this step. Some made even a leapfrog. They, from day one to another, they found themselves very digital, very high tech. But yeah, we can do it.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ben Hamida, for your answer.
Okay,
Next
next.
question is nowadays we see that many IoT devices tend to be more easy to get started for people with no computer science background, like Android things. What can you say about this?
Sorry, now we can say, we can see
We can
another.
see that many IoT devices tend to be more
I
easy
can
to get
hear.
started for people with no computer science background, like Android things. What can you say about this?
Absolutely, and this is what I told you about. There is a forum or something like that, like a blog made with by two I think American or British guys. They bought very cheap Arduino sensors, very basic sensors. They used their Tupperware, la boîte en plastique, their Tupperware where they used to put their food to make a box to put the Arduino inside it, and they made a smart home from nothing. They could track their dog, they could track the fire, detect any fire, any risk of fire, they could open the door remotely, etc. And they shared all this in their website, in their blog, and also they shared the how to say it, the code. So you can take it, you can implement it in the same devices, and you will have your smart home without knowing one instruction from any code or Python or C or
Thank you so
whatever.
much, Mrs.
So you can do it.
Ben Hamida, for this unbelievably amazing talk, via which we have shared so many interesting information about the Internet of Things with the whole
Thank you.
community. We have been absolutely thrilled to have you among us at DevFest'20 LGs, and we would be even more honored to have you at our future activities.
I hope so. Thank you so much for having me,
Thank you
and good
so
luck for
much.
the rest of
As for you
of
guys,
the
I hope
event.
that you have not only enjoyed but also gained a lot of
Okay.
knowledge from the Is the World Smarter Than IoT talk, which is a perfect wrap up for the first day talks of DevFest 2020 LGs. We still have one last workshop for today, which is the Equity in Tech workshop, where different issues concerning the topic will be discussed, so don't turn off your devices yet. Tomorrow is also packed with a lot of amazing activities, so make sure to be there and stay up to date with our agenda that's available on our social media. And best of luck for our talented participants who are working so hard to build solutions for the challenges. On that note, thank you all so much for making the first day of the fest memorable. We cannot wait to see the different surprises the second day and second and final day has to offer. Until then, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Bye.